Welcome to day 2 of YCS Atlanta. We are now in round 10 of 11 Swiss rounds, the first round of day 2. The Duelists, still in contention, will compete in 2 more Swiss rounds, followed by a top 32 cut. The tournament will proceed single elimination from there until we have one YCS champion. Here in round 10, we have Anthony Velasquez using his Wind Witch artifact Invoke deck, dueling against Jesse Schote and his Zodiacs. Both of these duelists currently have a 7-2 record, so they're looking for 2 consecutive wins to make it into the top 32 and a shot at becoming YCS champion.
And looks like our duelists are just about ready, so let's get down to it.
Looks like they've already begun. Schote started off the duel with Ratpier, Tekettenborg, Terratop, Book of Moon, and Chain Disappearance in hand. And he uses Terratop, special summons Terratop, special summons Tekettenborg, normal summons Ratpier, kick Zodiac combo to the graveyard, and that's where we're at now. So he upgrades Ratpier into Borbo, Borbo into Tiger Mortar, and then uses Tiger Mortar's effect to special summon another Ratpier from his deck.
Other than drawing that Tekettenborg, his hand's pretty good.
Yep. Velasquez's hand is quite good too. He has Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, Terraforming, Wonder Wand, Artifact Sanctum, and Dimensional Barrier.
Yeah, and Schote's playing around it well by not overlaying those 2 Speedroids. Normally, you can either choose to play around either Maxi or Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. If you want to play around Maxi, you overlay them first for Totem Bird. Otherwise, if you want to play around Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, you start to do your Zodiac thing. If your Zodiac gets Ghost Ogre, then you get to still make an Invoker with your 2 Speedroids and then continue your combo.
Velasquez's hand would have been a lot better going first.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday with Wind Witches.
Yeah.
It's definitely a deck where you want to be going first. And it doesn't necessarily have the same ability to break things as Zodiac does. Albeit we did see in the last round of Swiss yesterday the undefeated duelists moving into today. One of them won both of his duels going second, right? Against Paleozoocrogs.
That's right.
Using invoked artifact, which
Schote combines his 2 Speedroids and summons Totem Bird. Then upgrades his Zodiac into Trident. Broadwell into Trident. Sets Book of Moon, Chain Disappearance, and Solemn Strike before passing. And he seems to be in very good position.
It's interesting to me that we didn't see Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit at any point during that. Like even just on Daigusta Emerald so that you didn't have to deal with it the following turn.
Yeah, that is odd.
But maybe he's just hoping to sort of like seize back control and then use to like the Ghost Ogre to sort of completely turn the corner and stabilize.
Velasquez sets 2 copies of Artifact Sanctum and a Dimensional Barrier.
Yeah, showed you Zodiac Barrage, so at least that Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit can line up against something well. Trades evenly against Barrage. See how Schote wants to start.
Schote's contemplating how he's going to play through 3 back rows. Switches Trident to defense position to protect it from a Mirror Force type card. And attacks with Daigusta Emerald.
Yep. Artifact Sanctum is flipped. And there is a copy of Artifact Moral Talk in Velasquez's deck. Not the most popular choice right now. The most popular ratio is 2 Scythe and just 3 Sanctum with no Moral Talk, but Artifact Moral Talk was one of the most powerful cards during the 2014 era, and it makes sense why you'd want to include it if you're expecting strategies that aren't necessarily as extra deck reliant as Zodiac is. But the issue is that most of the time you want just Scythe instead of Moral Talk when you're trying to disrupt Zodiac, because just destroying 1 card usually isn't enough. You'd rather just stun them from their extra deck for the whole turn.
Yeah. In any case, Moral Talk's effect activates, and Schote uses Solemn Strike to shut it down and send it to the graveyard. Totem Bird scores a direct attack after the Daigusto Emerald.
Tier 65. Yeah.
And Velasquez drops down to 4,300 life points.
That glass spell or
That is.
ice spell?
That is Ice Bell, actually.
Ice spell, so that's a good
he
one.
draws the one he wants.
Yeah. How much attack does it? Can he chain disappearance it?
It is. It's 1,000, actually.
All right, yeah, so he could just chain disappearance that now, which doesn't seem that bad.
That's in your hand right now, right?
Yes, this is being revealed.
So he reveals it from his hand to activate the effect. The effect that special summons from the deck actually activates in the hand. It's sort of interesting. So
Yeah, we don't see effects like that very often.
Ice Bell is going to get Glass Bell.
Let's read Ice Bell. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then you can special summon one win each monster from your deck.
So it comes at the same time, correct?
Special, then special.
Okay.
So it's one summon, then another summon. The last thing to happen is Glass Bell being summoned, not Ice Bell being summoned.
Okay.
So no chain disappearance.
Okay.
Interesting. So Shode is actually unable to use Chain Disappearance here.
Is he able to just chain disappearance the glass spell
No,
instead?
because Glass Bell has 1,500 attack points.
Interesting. So he has to use on Snowbell?
Right, but he can't because Ice Bell special summons itself and then Glass Bell immediately after.
I meant Snowbell, the 1-star.
Yes.
Yeah.
Snowbell he can use it on.
Yeah,
if
so he can
chooses
still
to do
disrupt a
that.
little bit, but that's crazy
he
that the
could
Wind
do-
Witches are able
yeah.
to play around chain disappearance like that just inherently.
Yeah.
And now he can... But yeah. Now Velasquez knows about the chain disappearance, so he's able to just not search.
Yeah, so now he can just
Snowbell.
make, and he can make a level 7 Synchro Monster if he wants. Wind, of course.
Yeah.
So he can Synchro summon Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. Or it actually looks like he, or he can Synchro summon Wind Witch Winter Bell. He makes Clear Wing. Declining to play into the chain disappearance he now knows about.
Yeah, I mean, Shode still has Book of Moon, so it's not too bad, but it's definitely unfortunate that it works like that for Shode.
Clear Wing Synchro Dragon has an effect that negates monster effects of level 5 and higher monsters, but it can also negate monster effects that target your level 5 or higher monster.
Yeah, it lines up pretty
So-
good against Dryden, but it's
Yes.
only monster effects, so
Exact.
won't stop the Book of Moon.
Yes.
That's fine.
And then next turn, Shode can just put a Whiptail on his Dryden and, take 800 damage, but not the biggest deal if he's removing the Clearwing Synchro Dragon.
But does it target, or is it like
oh, maybe, but I didn't think it would, but you're right that it...
or is it like a DD
Whiptail
Warrior
might.
Lady?
It just says banish that bonus monster, so no, it does not target.
Okay, so yeah, so he could do that.
Yeah. Sounds wrap here. I would assume he's going to activate the effect, yeah.
Chain goes over.
That's more than fine. That just means he gets to Daigusto Emerald everything back. He also still has that barrage in hand. And he got rid of the Ghost Ogre, so all that really did was just set up his Daigusto Emerald. Give him a draw. Do you know if Velasquez is Setzler?
Velasquez. He has another artifact, Sanctum, and I believe I don't remember what the other one was, but I know he opened with 2 Sanctums.
So that second Sanctum is going to be pretty good here, unless
Effect target itself?
Shard chooses to negate it. But then if he negates it, does
Skip his battle phase, right?
no, that's ignition. Sanctum destroys a card.
I always confuse those.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So then its secondary effect would activate since it would be destroyed. Oh, it was a dimensional barrier face down from Velasquez, so
Effectively the same thing. Like that's going to get totem birded.
okay.
That result was Sanctum.
Now he uses Sanctum.
Yeah.
We're going to see him pull Artifact Scythe from his deck, and he'll activate its effect. Shota is now locked out of his extra deck for the turn.
Yeah, but still not the worst. You can still just put a Whiptail on the Dryden, make some attacks.
Well, he can't get through. Well, yeah, he could. He could ride into Scythe and use the Whiptail to banish the Clear Wing.
Yeah.
Right? So he can
And it
clear
just
the board.
stabilizes the field. None of his monsters are too relevant in terms of sticking around. Like, it's nice to have a Zodiac monster stay, but it's not the worst. He has Speedroid Terratop. I'll bite.
Vanishes right.
He drew and used Take a Time board earlier, so
Yeah, so
can't use that, but
he does as you predicted. He attaches a Whiptail to Dryden, attacks Clear Wing Synchro Dragon to banish it thanks to the effect of Whiptail. Now he's using Dryden's effect to destroy Scythe, and he can attack directly with Totem Bird, Augusto Emerald, and Thoroughblade. So things are looking a little rough for Velasquez now. Velasquez activates another effect of his Ice Bell.
what's the effect of the level 7 Wind Witch Synchro, other than the burn damage? Does it do...
I think it's special summons Wind Witches. Let's bring it up. It's the last level 7 that he can summon from his extra deck now that he has used Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. So it's really his only option.
47. Yep.
You can target a Wind Witch monster you control.
Okay, yeah,
And
so
then
it's
special summon a monster from your hand with a
hand,
lower
yes.
level.
Yeah.
Lower or equal.
But you can just target itself, right? So,
And once you add, I have something perfect.
Right.
yeah, so it just lets you special summon any... Is it any monster? Special summon a monster? No way, right?
No, it's a Wind Witch.
From your hand?
Oh, no,
Are
you're
you
right. Special
target-
summon one monster from your hand with a level less than or equal to the level of the Wind Witch you target. But
That
it
seems-
can't attack this turn.
That seems pretty strong, actually. Like, you just
It
special
is.
summon anything that's level 7 or lower? Or lower level than 7? Is it 7? Is it equal to or less, or is it just less? It's less, right? So
Equal or
it's 6 or
less.
less? Equal or less?
Yeah.
Activate Meltdown.
Seems pretty powerful.
Yeah, but it's not relevant here because Velasquez's hand is Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, Terraforming, and Wonder Wand. Oh, looks like he drew Magical Meltdown. Oh no, he terraformed with Magical Meltdown. So he's going to Terraforming, Magical Meltdown, activate Magical Meltdown to search for Alistair.
Trigger 1/1.
Luckily, though, that Chain Disappearance lines up pretty well against Alistair. So,
Yeah. So he uses Wonder Wand to trade in his Ice Bell for 2 more cards, but not before using Ice Bell's effect to deal 500 damage on its summon, dropping Shot to 4,700.
I'll sit.
that Wind Witch monster might be pretty good with, like, artifact cards. It would make sense that, like, you can do stuff like that during your opponent's battle phase. Moral talk. But I feel like that's not going to come up very often. Like, you're not going to want to leave up that level 7 synchro very often, nor will you draw your 1 moral talk. And then springing Scythe during the battle phase isn't the best either.
Right. So Tiger Mortar's effect activates, and Dimensional Barrier negates the effect of all Xyz monsters and prevents any more from being summoned.
Alistair has 1800 defense, so nothing can really destroy by battle just yet, unless Choate wants to use Forbidden Chalice. But
Wow.
what's going to happen is, because the Alistair's flip face up, he gets a search invocation, and then he's still like getting into the graveyard, or more so getting into play without getting Chain Disappearance. So
That's right. That's exactly what he
Choate
needs
might need
here.
to just wait and set Forbidden Chalice and pass.
That seems like it. That seems like it might be best.
He could also just
Unless-
attack and then try to Forbidden Chalice the Alistair, but it's not very strong.
He can, with the cards he currently has.
He could also, never mind, because he got Dimensional Barrier, but I was going to say he could try to Whiptail the Alistair, but because
Okay,
Dimensional
yeah,
Barrier
so
is
that-
preventing Xyz effects, it's not.
Can he win this turn?
He win this turn?
If he uses Forbidding Chalice to power up his Totem Bird, he can destroy Alistair in battle.
Then he has 34.
34, plus he didn't summon.
Right,
Right.
but then you're playing into a back row.
That's the problem. I don't know what the back row is. Do you know?
No, but it's probably whatever you drew off of the Wonder Wand.
He can try to win this turn by summoning the Terror Top. He declines.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't want to give it to Velasquez because if for some reason he's unable to win this turn, Velasquez would then get Alistair's effect to search for invocation, and Alistair wouldn't be banished.
Yeah, this game changed completely because Velasquez learned about the chain disappearance.
Yeah, that was pretty big.
Now he's able to just sit there and play around it.
Yeah, and Velasquez drew another Artifact Sanctum, so now he's able to bring out another Artifact Scythe. Shote's hand is pretty abysmal.
Yeah, his last couple draws have been far from the best.
It's 2 Rat Piers, a Terror Top, and a Chalice in his hand. He upgrades his Tiger Mortar into Broadbull. And Velasquez activates Artifact Sanctum.
Interesting, he activates it now.
As opposed to before he upgraded to Broadbull.
Yeah, or something, I don't know, because you're getting Scythe here, right? Like you already used Mortal Talk.
Right.
So,
Scythe is the last artifact in his deck.
yeah. Like if you knew you were going to pop it off, if your opponent just stacks a single Xyz over it, then you might as well just done it before, I think. But that's okay. It doesn't really matter anyway, because Shote had Forbidden Chalice.
Yes. So he negates the effect of Scythe, and is free to special summon more monsters.
Effect search.
Uses Broadbull's effect.
Yep. Velasquez telegraphing he has something. And that something right now is Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Cho can still combo off this turn in a pretty cool way, I think. He can, I think he can make like a Daigusto Emerald with the Rapier and the Thoroughblade and do some shuffling and then stack a Tiger Mortar on top of Broad Bull and then use Tiger Mortar to get back the a Rapier he detaches, but having to lose a Rapier from your hand to do that kind of isn't the best. But we'll see what he chooses to do. You could also just stack an Xyz on top of Rapier and just get the last Rapier from his deck, and then use that to make the Daigusto Emerald with the 2 monsters, and then use the Daigusto Emerald to shuffle back double Rapier, and then just have the last Rapier sitting in his hand for the following turn. That also might be fine.
So he combines Thoroughblade with Rapier.
Oh, it looks like he's gonna. Oh, ho, ho.
Oh.
S39 is going to come down. Boom.
So first he summons number 39 Utopia, and then he upgrades that into Utopia Lightning.
Yeah. Utopia Lightning wasn't very popular in the OCG, wasn't very popular in YCS Seattle. The only ones I saw were in Max Reynolds and Jeff Jones's list. But I think this tournament, a lot more people are utilizing S39. It's a really powerful effect. If you're ever able to bait a Trident, or bait, usually Trident, you can just deal 5,000 like through a Trident. It's crazy.
Yeah, so
And
Velasquez
it plays around Whiptail.
Velasquez's back row with Solemn Strike, so he'll negate S39 summon.
I'm still choosing not to attack. Second copy of Magical Meltdown is actually probably going to do it. Alistair's in once per turn, right?
No.
Yeah, so he's going to have to chain disappearance the first one. Or he's probably going to chain disappearance one of them. But the fact that he still has the second one means that regardless, it's like a darned if you do, darned if you don't situation.
Yeah, he's in trouble. Shote's hand is pretty useless right now. His Rapier, Whiptail, and Terror Top, plus his back row being Chain Disappearance, doesn't scare Velasquez. So he's in pretty bad shape.
Yeah, you can definitely see the difference between having information versus not having that information would have impacted this duel. I don't think anyone would have set the Alistair otherwise.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now, Chain Disappearance hits all copies in the deck.
And in graveyard.
Okay.
Might not actually hit the hand. I'm pretty sure it hits deck and graveyard for sure. Hand and deck.
Hand
Those are
and
the
deck.
two.
Wow.
I remember it was 2 out of the 3.
I gotta reveal something, right? I don't have one in here.
And deck.
Yeah, I remember.
Can I rechain you?
Yeah, he gets to check the deck because there's no way for him to verify that that set monster is Alistair.
Can he reveal a set monster instead of showing his deck?
No.
3, you have to reveal the hand and the deck to verify because it checks both.
Can I just reveal that I have one face down?
Velasquez just asked the exact same question as me.
Yeah. The more interesting question is, because he has searched 2 copies of Magical Meltdown, and then you know that he had 2 copies and now no longer has 1 copy, does that denote that that is the 3rd Alistair? But no, like when you activate an effect like Chain Disappearance, you're not allowed to just show your face down monster because your opponent loses out in that trade.
Yeah.
And that's not what the card lets you do. So
All right, so he uses the effects of his Alistairs after flip summoning his 2nd and 1 to get 2 invocations. He uses Invocation to banish his on-field Alistair. And one of his Wind Witches.
yep, Raijin is going to come down. I feel like the Wind Witches didn't impress me too much, but Wonder Wand and Raijin are what really impressed me about this deck. I think being able to utilize those 2 cards so well is pretty powerful.
Wonder Wand frequently just functions as a pot of greed. For example, right here.
Yeah, he can just Wonder Wand away the Alistair.
Yeah, Alistair on the field is the same as Alistair in the graveyard when you're going to banish it with Invocation. So Wonder Wand is just 2 more cards.
Chooses to banish Shotes, Speedroid Terror Top.
Yeah,
I think that's a mistake. He should have banished the Tekiton Borg. There's just no reason.
Oh,
unless
so
he already shuffled. Yeah, unless Shote shuffled back the Tekiton Borg with Daegu Samurai and I didn't see that. It just makes no sense to shuffle back the Terror Top instead. Like, one is a lot worse without the other.
Take 400.
Raijin attacks and destroys to goes to Emerald. So it loses 400 life points.
I will pass turn.
So draws Zodiac Barrage.
Yeah, I mean, his hand isn't the worst, but yeah, actually Barrage gets him out of this because Barrage lets him make 2 pushes, so the Raijin can't really stop him. He just has to navigate it well enough where he baits the, yeah, boom. He's able to slam Barrage.
So as long as he has another Zodiac in his deck, which he does, he'll be able to summon a Trident that the Raijin can't stop.
Yeah, he actually might just be able to attack over the Raijin. He's just Whiptail in hand. So he gets to save all the materials.
Oh, he could do that.
Yeah.
He'd rather just destroy
No, he's
it.
just game,
Oh,
actually.
he
Yeah,
wins,
never
yeah.
mind, yeah.
So he can just attack and Whiptail. 1,600 from Thoroughblade plus 1,200 from Whiptail.
Yeah, didn't realize
28
Velasquez was at
total.
28, but you know, even just the Whiptail Thoroughblade was enough, right? That's 18 or 28 right there.
It's 28.
Yeah. So he
Which
actually
is-
just didn't need anything else.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Jesse Shote does manage to win the first duel.
Looking at side decks on Shote's end, Artifact Lancia definitely coming in. Anti-Spell Fragrance, probably not the best. It actually might be fine going first against some of the Invoke cards, but because it doesn't really line up against the Wind Witch as well, I don't think you want it. My Buys a Shield is probably in there just for decks that utilize Dryden and Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, so he really wants it in like the pure Zodiac Mirror or things like that. You know, they also have a lot of sweeper effects. Falsadine Pachycephalo. Also, probably for the mirror, other strategies not going to be that great against Wind Witch. You can stick one turn 1, but other than that, it's not that strong. It also, I guess, like Alistair can't beat over it. It's hard for this deck to beat over it other than with, what's that one's name? Glassbell.
Glassbell, 1500
But
attack.
you'd also have to, like, protect it. If you're able to go, like, Drident, like you open Terratop or Zodiac Barrage along with Fossil Dynamic Pachycephalo, and you're able to assemble, like, Drident plus Pachycephalo, that's pretty strong, but other than that, not the best. He has Cosmic Cyclone, which could be okay, but 3 copies of Gamma Seal, that's where it's at. Definitely you're going to bring in 3 Gamma Seal. And his last card's Twin Twisters, which is fine, but maybe not the best. On Velasquez's end, he has a whole Kaiju engine in his side deck, so we'll probably see that come in just because he... Actually, well, no, he's going first this game because he lost. So I doubt we're going to see that coming in this game, but we might see it in Game 3 if he can win this one. Other than that, none of his other cards really help out. He could side in DD Crow, but it's not too strong, so I don't think I would want it here. And Lancia isn't obviously the best against Zodiac. Different Dimension Ground, also not the best here. So
It's been a popular card this weekend, though.
yeah, it's just one of the few ways you can counter that grass looks greener.
Yeah.
It not only counters it, it can likely just win you the game a lot of the times because they burn through such important resources.
All right, I'll be taking first.
It also can sort of counter Void Feast if you already have it set too, which is nice.
Velasquez chooses to go first. Looks like he opens up with
2 copies of Terraforming,
Yes.
some Wind Witches, and a Dimensional Barrier.
I can't tell which witches those are.
Which Wind Witches? Why can't you tell which Wind Witches it is?
Not a good
Not
angle.
All right, looks like Glass Bell, Nice Bell.
Ah, there's 2 different ones. All right.
Oh, but he has Maxi on the reveal, so that's great news.
Wow. So
And
he'll-
it's 2
he'll-
separate special summons.
Yeah.
It's
one.
one, then the other.
Yep. So he gets 2 draws. Ooh. That's another reason why Wind Witches might not be the strongest strategy. You get 2 for 1 on Maxi every single time you activate your best card.
Yeah.
Not the best. At least Zodiac can freeze a little bit, you know, or like you can choose whether or not to give them extra cards.
Now, if you're Velasquez, do you just play through this and hope your opponent can't stop your ultimate Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon that can't be destroyed by card effects?
It depends on the rest of my hand, but probably not. I don't know. It just seems really rough.
Yeah.
Because
You'd be giving him 1, 2, 3 more draws to
yeah,
summon it.
yeah, they're definitely not doing that. I could see just synchroing for like a level 7. You know, like
Oh.
Clear Wing or something.
1 more draw instead.
Or like just doing this and invocating for Raijin, and that's it, or something. One of those 2 options is what I would go with. Or possibly both, giving him 2 draws, but you get a Raijin and a Clear Wing. But giving your opponent that many draws when there's Kaiju in the format is not going to be the strongest, because the more draws they get, the closer they get to a Kaiju, which is just such an easy answer for your threat.
Velasquez summons Alistair instead, uses its effect to get Invocation.
Yep. Is there a powerful Earth invoked monster that he can summon using that Maxi?
I think the Earth one is
it
the normal
Vigilantia?
monster.
As a normal monster? That's unfortunate. That's not very powerful. at all.
3,000 attack, 3,300 defense.
Oh, man. Watch out, Blue Eyes White Dragon. But yeah, I was going to say, like, maybe he just uses his opponent's Maxi from the graveyard or something so he doesn't have to, like, keep progressing.
House was a 4?
But
Yes, sir.
Okay.
we'll see what he chooses. Oh, that's even better, actually.
Oh, he tunes Alistair with Glass Bell.
Stardust Dragon. And then, yeah, so this is basically the same play I was talking about before, but there's just a better way to do it because he can get double use out of the Alistair. Give him 2 draws, but give you 2 threats that matter.
Schultz's hand is looking pretty crazy now.
Yeah, but Dimensional Barrier will still just stun him for a turn. He has to live through a Dimensional Barrier.
Yeah.
I'll set 1 and I'll pass.
Oh, there's
Oh,
a Gamma Seal.
Gamma Seal
But
off
that
the
doesn't
top.
still doesn't matter too much because he already had 2 copies of Forbidden Chalice.
That's
It's more so like he needs to survive the crackback or be able to do something still through the Dimensional Barrier.
Draw phase standby for this one. Very good.
so he Gamma Seals the Raging.
The Stars Dragon actually doesn't matter because he doesn't have a destruction effect that would.
It
Do
can't be
any-
used against barrage, right?
That I was actually considering that, but I will check really quick.
Actually, I think well, negate the activation of a spell card, trap card, or
That would
affect
destroy a card on
monster's
field.
effect.
Yeah,
So,
you can use it against barrage.
So that could be relevant.
Yeah, no, that's definitely relevant. Just because he has barrage, but now they got dimensional barrier, a lot less relevant. What's the defense on Ice Spell?
I believe it's 1,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
So at least Thoroughblade can clear that. And then you're probably living through this turn. Because he's already done a lot. I guess he already has the Alistair back in his hand, though, so that could be problematic. But with 2 copies of Dimensional Barrier instead, it'll be oh, but Velasquez draws another copy. Or Velasquez draws his own copy of Maxi. So, and now Velasquez has to consider whether or not he wants to play around Chain Disappearance because he saw it game 1. He's just going to go to battle, make some attacks.
Yeah, Seal attacks Thoroughblade.
Yeah. Was he considering, like, double Chalice?
That seems like it would be pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't know what else he could be necessarily considering, though. Maybe he's just trying to feign a Mirror Force effect.
25. Yep.
Stardust attacks directly.
How much?
44, right? I'm at 4,400.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, sets. So that's Alistair.
Pass turn.
Afraid of Chain Disappearance after that first duel. Show draws Book of Moon.
Stand by base.
Not particularly helpful.
Oh, it can answer the Stars Dragon if he wants to barrage, but yeah,
Yeah.
the problem here is Maxi, not Stars Dragon.
Yeah.
Show
Seven's
throws
ra-
down Zodiac combo. Rapier. He already has 1 Rapier in the graveyard, though, so second Rapier not looking too good.
Sure.
See if he even realizes, or who realizes that you can Stars Dragon Barrage. Looks like no one.
Or he'd rather just Max C and keep his Stardust Dragon.
That
on
could
the
be true,
field.
but it's not like. So you lose your Stardust Dragon, then what?
Maybe it'll get DD Crowed or.
Yeah, but I still think that's a
don't know.
fine trade. You're still 2 for 1-ing, right?
Yeah.
And then like you still get to save your Maxi too. So you basically like you're using your Stars Dragons free negation because it gets to revive itself to answer a card, and then if your opponent wants to push more, you can use Maxi then. Or if your opponent just can't push, then you can hold your Maxi for the following turn. But I mean, this is fine.
Show presses on with Tiger Mortar. Velasquez draws Twin Twisters.
Battle. Sure. Play. Sure.
Thoroughblade attacks Stardust Dragon. Whiptail comes down to attach to the
Gets managed, right?
Yeah.
Tiger Mortar.
Yep.
You take 3.
Too bad he didn't use that Stars Dragon.
Yeah. Too bad. It would have been safely in the graveyard, waiting to come back in the end phase.
In phase 2. Yep.
And this Tiger Mortar wouldn't have been there. Nothing like this would have happened. If Joe wanted to do this, he would have had to press through a Maxi differently. Like, it's a lot. A lot would have changed. And now it looks like Show is sort of, not exactly in the driver's seat, but close to it.
Well, looks like Velasquez just drew Dark Hole, so
Well, I think he drew Dark Hole off of the Maxi, but he's drawn a lot of cards last turn, so he should be able to mount some amount of, like, some kind of comeback this turn. Just gonna get striked.
Puts me at 29 to your 77.
Sir. I agree, Dark Hole.
Dark Hole's a bit of a beating. As Showed is low on cards, but he does
For
have
sure.
that Zodiac combo in the grave, so
Dark Hole resolves.
yeah, he's probably gonna kick it off now in case he draws a hand trap.
Activate.
he does.
Yeah. He definitely has 5 between Tiger Mortar, Thoroughblade, Drident, Barrage, and Rapier. I don't know if I like putting back Barrage over Whiptail, but I actually, yeah, it's probably fine actually because it just gives you another
Better draw.
good draw. Yeah. Like, it means because you get 2 draws, 1 here off combo, 1 for turn, you could possibly draw Barrage plus a Zodiac monster. So then you can push twice rather than once. And look, did he draw Barrage?
Not sure.
It looked like he drew a spell, but we'll see what it was.
He did. He drew a barrage.
What a master.
Okay, but now Velasquez summons Ice Spell, uses its effect to special summon another Ice Spell from his deck,
Take 5.
and inflicts 500 points of damage with its effect.
Yeah, at 29, that's pretty relevant.
Special.
Special summons Snowbell from his hand so that he can tune his monsters together.
Yep.
Can I read it?
Pretty sure Showed has Dimensional Barrier set, and at least Dimensional Barrier Forbidden Chalice. But I could be wrong.
He has 2 chalices down, but those don't really
I think
help.
he used one, didn't he? Or did he not? Maybe he didn't,
I don't think he did.
actually. Yeah. It might be... Oh, I think it's Double Chalice Book of Moon plus something. Has he Book of Moon something yet?
No, you're right. He still has Book of Moon.
Yeah.
Velasquez uses Magical Meltdown to grab another Alistair from his deck.
Yeah, then that's pretty strong.
Shote's in
Pretty
a
strong.
tough spot.
Yeah.
Now he normal summons Alistair.
I flipped it up.
Yeah, he flips on it.
Okay.
His previous Alistair was flip summoned, so he still hasn't normal summoned.
Yeah, I mean, he can Forbidden Chalice this, I guess, but damage matters
I
right
think
now.
then he just loses, right? Depending on what that last back row is, but I think direct attacks will just end it.
Yeah, I mean, but if he lets it through, like the Invocation just gives him another threat, and he can use
Yeah.
the Alistair as a material. He can go make a... Does he have another level 8 Synchro in his extra deck or anything? Or level 5?
Does not.
Yeah.
That'd be Wonderwall on a Snowbell.
Sure.
Like to draw 2 cards.
Draws another Magical Meltdown.
Yeah, I mean, he can just Invocation now and banish the what is it? Alistair from his graveyard, and then Shote's Rapier if he wants to, just to summon the 3,000, or he can choose to make a disruptive threat.
So Shote uses Dimensional Barrier, calling fusions, but that's it, because each Ice Spell has 1,000 attack points, and so
Well, he
does
still has Book
Alistair.
of Moon, right?
Oh, you're right. So that would be only 2,000.
Yeah, so he just has to Book of Moon, one of the ice spells.
You're right. So, well, if you Book of Moon's the Ice Spell,
1,000.
that would work, because the 500 damage is only when it is normal or special summoned.
Yeah,
Not
I
when
mean, he
it's
doesn't
flipped
want to Book
face
of
up.
Moon the Alistair, that's for sure.
Right, because that would give him Invocation back, or a new Invocation. So Shote goes down to 400 life points and now activates Barrage
Yeah, but Velasquez has Artifact Sanctum
and Twin
and
Twister.
Twin Twister, so
Target, barrage.
looks like this is going to go to a game 3.
Yep. So Shote concedes and Velasquez wins the second duel.
Yeah, but now Shote's going first, which is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
I don't think Forbidden Chalice seems like it'd be pretty strong, but I don't think it actually lines up too well. It stops Raijin, but it was just unfortunate that game that it seemed like he couldn't really get off the ground, or I don't know, or was it was the Dark Hole, right, that really turned the corner?
Yeah, the Dark Hole did a lot.
Start by the time time ends, then it will be.
I mean, he also drew a lot of cards with Max C.
Yeah.
Do it quick.
I mean,
Well,
not
Shote drew all the cards with Max C, right?
Shote drew a
Velasquez drew a
bunch
couple.
with Max C. Yeah.
So both Max C's were pretty big, but
I don't know. I think that game should have ended as soon as Shote played Barrage and activated his effect, because I think that Star Striker thing would have just. I didn't think Shote had a chance at that point, but
maybe.
or that he was supposed to just Book of Moon the Stars Dragon to play around in one of the two.